Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany and welcome to my 2026 spring decorating marathon. These are a little compilation of spring decorating in my home over the years. We are about to kick off spring decorating and I thought it would be fun to start it off with a look at how the house has looked throughout the years. It's fun to see not only how I decorated in the past, but also just how things have changed. Furniture placement, the adding of different decor. I find it to be incredibly inspirational and I hope you do too. Remember, this is spring decorating over the years. This is not this year's. You'll be seeing that soon. I hope you guys enjoy. Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany and in today's video we are finally decorating for spring. I am so very excited. It is the middle of March. We are rapidly approaching April and all of the trees just have like a little bit of a red tinge to them as I know all those buds are coming, and super excited to bring in all of the bunnies and the carrots and the touches of Easter and spring to my home. So if you're here for it, get yourself a snack and a cozy drink and let's go ahead and get started. I'm so glad you're here. We're going to start our decorating today here in the family room, and I'm starting with this adorable carrot sign. This is from Antique Farmhouse. It came in a set of 2 and I love the color. I love the carrots. So very sweet. And I did actually decide to add another wood decor piece here. This adorable wooden bunny is from a sweet creator on Etsy called Rustic Occasions. The creator, Amy, was so kind to send me some of her adorable creations, and I will have everything linked for you down below. Make sure you follow her on Etsy and on Instagram for all of her beautiful designs. I love this sweet little bunny. It's perfect here behind these wooden pieces. Moving up to this sweet little wreath, I'm just going to add this little carrot wreath here. I do believe I picked this up from Target in the dollar section. I'm not sure exactly when, maybe last year or the year before, but I'm just adding it to the little eucalyptus wreath there. I'm also going to bring in those beautiful stone bunnies I picked up this year from Antique Farmhouse online. I will have everything that I can link for you linked down in the description box, and also I will try to link everything through the YouTube shopping to make it nice and easy for you to add these beautiful finds to your home as well. I also am going to add these beautiful stems that I picked up from the Hearth and Hand line at Target to this beautiful hanging basket. And to bring in a touch of whimsical, I'm also going to add this bunny here that I picked up at Hobby Lobby to my little farmer's market flower tote from Target. This beautiful stone-like bunny is from Amazon. I picked this up this year and it's absolutely beautiful. We're also going to work on this sweet little shelf here. This shelf is from Magnolia, and although I don't believe this exact one is available anymore, there are very beautiful similar ones. And I'm starting with this gorgeous sign here that I picked up this year from HomeGoods. This was a recent find. I love the mango wood on the outside of the frame, just so very pretty. I'm also going to bring in this adorable little milk pitcher here. This is from IKEA, and I just stuffed it with a few little carrots, as well as this faux metal chocolate mold that I picked up from a local shop called August and March last year. For the coffee table, I'm starting off with this basket here from Target and a beautiful wooden riser that I got from my favorite local antique shop, Scranton's. I've got a bunny there that I had spray painted last year, and this beautiful ceramic colander that my sister-in-law got me for my birthday. I love it. It has a big one as well. And I'm filling it with these neutral eggs that I picked up this year from Hobby Lobby. I almost said HomeGoods, but I love these. I think they're so beautiful. I love the color that they bring in, and they really do look so real. I'm also going to decorate with these brand new antique books that I picked up from my local antique shop, Scranton Shops. As I told you, I just picked those up when I went just last weekend, and they're perfect here on the table. Staying here in the living room, we're going to move over to the sofa, and I've got these beautiful gingham pillows. These are from the Shabby Chic line, and I picked these up at HomeGoods this year. I love the color that they bring in. They're a very soft, warm green, and they are perfect for the spring.
Don't know where to start or when to end. I'm afraid that I might fall again.
Moving over to the sofa table behind the sofa, I'm starting by giving it a quick little dust after removing that basket. And I'm now going to bring in this adorable wooden crate that I picked up at HomeGoods this year. I love how it says farm fresh carrots. So cute. I'm just going to put that blanket back inside, and then we're going to stuff this with that adorable rabbit bunny pillow from Michael's this year. I love this. I saw this all over Instagram and had to have one. And of course, to bring in another touch of antiques, we're just going to bring the scoop back in and put that there. It looks so pretty. I'm also going to trade out this napkin for this beautiful towel from the Rachel Ashwell line. I got that from HomeGoods last year, I believe. And then moving to the top, I'm adding this adorable spring little pennant here. This is a wooden pennant from Rustic Occasions from Amy. As I mentioned before, she sent this to me as well as the bunnies, and it's so cute. I'm just adding it to this antique bucket, and in the bucket, I've got some adorable eucalyptus there. That's all from Amazon. I also have this sheep chocolate mold here, again from August and March, and I also am going to bring in this little tray here of fake eggs to bring in a little bit of color. Here in the center of the table, I'm going to remove this bowl that I have here. This is actually another antique find, and I'm bringing in this little candy dish. This is from Target, and I'm just adding a few more of those little neutral eggs. And then we're going to cover this with a beautiful cloche, this wire cloche. This is from Antique Farmhouse, and I love it. I think it brings in such charm, and I was so excited to do this little piece here. And then to the other side, I've got this cement pot here. This is from Magnolia. I had to think about that for a second. And those florals are from Michael's, I believe. And then we're going to bring in this sweet little mango wood bunny. This is actually from last year's Walmart decor. And now it's time for one of my absolute favorite areas to decorate. This is my little IKEA hutch. I love this, and we're going to start off on the top. Most everything up there is from the local antique shop, but I'm bringing in that little bunny picture there from Amazon and a little cabbage vase and some beautiful tulips from Antique Farmhouse. I'm also bringing in this little bunny. It doesn't end up staying, but it's there for now. And this beautiful duck, this wooden duck, again from Rustic Occasions. Amy did such a beautiful job. I think it's so cute. I love the adorable ribbon, and it looks so perfect behind those beautiful tulips. To this next shelf here, we're just going to kind of move things around. I started by bringing in this cabbage teapot from Target, which ends up moving to a different shelf here in just a minute, but we're going to just move things around and kind of reorganize just a little bit and bring in more cabbage. My whole goal for this area, if you saw my inspiration video where I talked to you about the pictures that I was using for inspiration this year, I really wanted to bring in a lot of cabbage dinnerware and just make it feel very cottage and rustic and lived in and cozy. And so that's what we're doing. We're mixing those plates from Michael's as well as some other items. This little egg basket or egg collecting basket is from Amazon. It's a new find this year. I love it. We're adding more of those neutral eggs inside, and I think this looks really pretty. I love how everything is just green and white and browns and very neutral, very cottage. I really, really love how this turned out. We're also going to bring back that adorable little planter there. That is also from Magnolia, and we've got more of those beautiful tulips from Antique Farmhouse. For this next shelf, we're actually going to just start fresh. So I'm taking everything down. Most things here on this shelf are from the antique store, but we're going to do something a little bit different. I had talked to you recently about wanting to move my plate rack over here. My favorite piece of decor that I ever got is this plate rack. I love it. I think it's so pretty. And I'm starting with an antique tin there in the back. And I wanted to figure out how to bring in some color and some more spring charm. So I've got this little book here from Home Goods, a Peter Rabbit book. I love the color that it brings. And this little mango wood rabbit, I believe, is also from Home Goods maybe a year or two ago. We're going to just bring in some sprigs of greenery as well as some tulips. And I think this turned out really, really beautiful. To the next shelf here, we're going to start by adding in that cheese box next to this vintage antique toolbox. And then I've got these beautiful little containers. I picked these up in Newport, Rhode Island at the local winery there. We're going to add in a couple of little eggs to bring in some color and some more charm for the season. And you guys, we're going to jam pack this shelf. I love a full shelf. I am a maximalist for sure. So I'm bringing in this cute little duck. I don't think that ends up staying though, but it's there for now. Along with some tiered tray decor that I picked up from Target and these little spools here. I love these, so cute. And another one of those adorable little shoe forms. I love to pick these up at my local antique shop. They bring in so much charm and the color is perfect. To this bottom shelf, we're going to leave a lot of what's already here and just add to it. So I'm starting off with this milk carrier. This is another Scranton's Find. I love it. I think it's so cute and it's fun to decorate and it adds height. So I've got those pasta bowls there from Hearth and Hand and another one of those little pretend chocolate molds and a bowl from Michael's from their cabbageware line and some more tulips because I think they just tie in all of the spring feels and they're so pretty. This is actually my first year decorating with tulips and I really, really love them. For my little tiered tray, this is actually from Michael's, and we're going to leave most of the things that are here and just bring in some things I've collected over the years. Some of these items are from Target. They, for a couple of years, were adding some really great tiered tray pieces. I don't know that they're still doing that, but I do love that little farm fresh carrot one. And then we're also going to add some fun decor to the bottom. I've got some cute cupcake toppers and an adorable little bunny mug that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. This 8-gallon crock was a recent Scranton's Find. I shared this with you in my last antique haul, and I adore this crock. And then we're also adding in these beautiful snowball viburnum stems. These are from my Home Goods, nope, Hobby Lobby, and I believe they're snowball viburnum. They might be hydrangea, but they look to me like they're snowball viburnum. I'm really not sure, to be 100% honest, but they're so beautiful. I actually bought these because I was inspired by Jen from Mother Time. She had these in her beautiful dining room. If you guys have not seen her makeover, I highly recommend that you follow her and check that out. I'll have her linked for you down below, but I love, love, love those stems that she recommended. She also recommended another piece that we're going to do here on my dining room table. I actually already decorated this in a reel on my Instagram, so make sure you're following me at Charlotte Grove Farmhouse to see how I styled this. But this adorable little dish caddy was something I saw her style in her kitchen, and I knew I had to have it for my cottage farmhouse home, and I was so in love with it when I saw her post it. So I'm so excited to have it here in my home. We're also just going to finish off this vignette with some of our dinner plates, another one of those colanders with some faux eggs, and this adorable bunny from Hobby Lobby. And now that we're done decorating, let's go ahead and walk through and take a look at how it all turned out. And that's going to bring us to the end of this part 1 of our spring decorating. I hope that you enjoy how this turned out. I really love it. I think it's fresh and so very beautiful. And I really think I nailed that cottage farmhouse vibe I was going for this year. I feel like all of those inspiration pictures I shared with you in my original planning video really came to life in my home, and I feel just so happy with how it all turned out. Make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss part 2 coming on Saturday for this fun spring decorate with me. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and share it with someone else you know that might enjoy a little spring decorating inspiration. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have a beautiful day, my friends, and I'll see you soon. Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany, and in today's video we are working on part 2 of my 2025 spring decorating. I'm so glad you guys are here. If you missed part 1, definitely go back and check it out to see my family room as well as my dining room and my fun little hutch. I love how it all turned out. Today we're going to be working on the kitchen. We're starting off here in this hutch cabinet in my kitchen. I love to decorate this area. Before I had our little hutch in our dining room, this was the only space that I had to decorate like that. So definitely want to bring in some warm and cozy vibes, and we're starting off here on the top shelf. I'm just going to be changing up a little bit of decor. I really do love the way this all looks right now, so we're just going to be switching things up a little bit. I will link everything that I can for you down in the description box. If you have any questions about where anything is from, don't hesitate to ask. All of the cabbageware that you're going to see in today's video is from Target. Threshold came out with the most adorable cabbageware. I love the bright green color, and I think it's so very beautiful. To this next shelf here, I'm actually going to replace that picture with this adorable Peter Rabbit cookie jar that I found this year at Home Goods. I think it's so adorable, and it brings in such great little charm for the spring and Easter season. We're also going to add another one of those adorable little teacups here to this jar filled with oats. I think this looks so adorable. And we're also just going to do a little bit of changing up here to this bottom shelf. I'm going to start by bringing in some color with these carrots. These, I believe, are from Michael's, I think. Pretty sure that the ones I ended up using here are from Michael's this year. And then I'm also going to bring in this adorable little chocolate mold. This was actually gold when I bought it, but I did spray paint it to be that color. I showed that in a Sunday Reset vlog, and I think it turned out really, really nice. I also have this adorable little creamer pitcher here. I've had this for a couple of years now. It's from Home Goods. I love the color, and I think it's really cute and cozy. We're also going to switch things up down on the countertop here. I did move my plate rack that was here over to the hutch in the dining room, and it looks so adorable, and I love how that turned out. Make sure you check out that video. And I am going to bring in these adorable glass canisters from Hobby Lobby. I actually got this idea from my friend Stacy Moore from Instagram, and they look so adorable here on my counter, just like they do on hers. I love them. So they are also vacuum sealed, so when you put that lid on, the things that are inside are going to stay good, which I really love. So I can actually use what's in here. So really, really cool. And again, we're just going to use some more of those Adorage Cabbageware teacups to bring in some more of the color and charm for the spring. I also have this beautiful wooden bunny, again from Rustic Occasions. I showed this in my part 1 video with a swan and another bunny, and Amy just did such a beautiful job with these pieces. I'm putting it here in the middle, but it does end up finding its way to the end and over to the edge, and it looks really, really beautiful. So make sure you stay tuned to the end to see the final product. Next up, we're going to go ahead and work on my Antique Farmhouse pie safe. I love this pie safe. I did get this for my birthday. It was a gift to myself, but I adore it. And we're starting off with some more cabbageware from Target. And that little faux pie there, I made that following a tutorial from Jen over at Mother Time, and I think it's so cute. And we're just going to be layering in green and some fun little pieces from Peter Rabbit. Looks like party wear from Home Goods. You're going to see that here in just a second. And I also have this really pretty mustard jar here. I believe this is from Decor Steals, maybe. I have it just stuffed with a little bit of carrots, but they're so cute. And I wanted this just to feel whimsical and just full of beautiful items that are really cozy and perfect for the spring. Moving over to the countertop here on the other side, I have this gorgeous picture here. This is also from Antique Farmhouse. I love the blue bunny. And we're going to layer this in with antique finds from my favorite antique shops, Scranton Shops in Woodstock, Connecticut. I've got these beautiful iron spoons, and we're also going to layer in that beautiful antique rolling pin and some cookie cutters just to bring in another little element of coziness here to the kitchen counter. I'm switching out my wreaths on the pantry door. Both are from Hobby Lobby, and I picked up this tulip wreath this year. This is new and it is so cute. I love how this turned out. I'm really loving the tulips this year. I have never decorated with them before, and I'm really loving how they turned out. We've we've got a little bit of a costume change now. It is actually days later that I am finishing up filming this video. I'm actually just home from work, so I'm still in work attire. I work as the school counselor right now by day, so I've got my kindness sweatshirt on, but we're going to work over in the coffee bar now. I'm starting off with this Peter Rabbit banner that I picked up at Home Goods. So very cute. And I also have this pitcher and tulip set here. This is from Antique Farmhouse. Both are sold separately, but I just think they're so perfect for spring. Like I said, tulips are new for me this year and I love them. We're also going to bring in this little wooden pedestal. I believe I picked this up at TJ Maxx on one of my trips, and more of the Target cabbageware because I just adore it. And I picked up a miniature version of those canisters in my kitchen, and I'm just filling them with some fun spring and Easter shaped candy. These little gummies here are from Michael's, and we're also going to bring in these adorable sour carrots that I picked up at Home Goods. Just going to mix those in together. They bring in a little touch of cute and whimsical. I like the color that they bring, and when we're over here making a cup of coffee, we can grab ourselves just a little gummy treat if we want. Moving over to the other side, I am starting off with this canister here, or this crock. This is, I don't believe, an antique find. I think this is probably from TJ Maxx or Home Goods. I've had it for several years now. That greenery though, that hanging eucalyptus, is from Michael's this year, and it's like less than $5. I love the color that it brings in. It's super pretty. I will link it for you down in the description box. Again, more cabbageware, shocker, and more of those mugs. So those mugs are also from Home Goods. I've had those for a few years now, but I love the colors. I love that watercolor design. And these little food picks are from Hobby Lobby this year. I love their food picks when it comes to seasonal decor. They're so cute, and you can toss these onto a charcuterie board and it brings in such a little bit of charm and just cuteness to any food item that you have there on your charcuterie board. I love it. So I always like to use them over here in the coffee bar. They're just really pretty and they're easy to decorate with. A new addition this year are these gorgeous bunny mugs from Birch Lane. Jennifer over on Instagram has the most adorable shop, and I love how these turned out. I love to hang these underneath the shelf here, and they just bring in so much cute and coziness, and it's a super easy way to change out your decor for the seasons. I also forgot that I had these really beautiful cards from Antique Farmhouse. They came in a pack of 5 or 6, and they just look like aged cards that say spring, blooms, chicks. I think there's one that says bunny, and I think they're really, really pretty. So I decided to bring those in over here as well. I might sprinkle them throughout my home just to bring in another little element of character and, cuteness. I think they're really, really pretty. And the last area we're going to focus on today is my entryway table. This little table is from the Salvation Army. I scored it for $8, and we're starting off with that really beautiful riser. That's from Scranton's, and that beautiful swan that is from, like I said, my friend Stacy Taylor Moore. She made that, and it's so beautiful. I also grabbed that bunny with the chalkboard when Jen from Mother Time showed it. I had it in my antique farmhouse wish list forever, and I never actually bought it. But when I saw hers, I knew I had to have it. I also got that little faux boxwood from Target. That's new this year. More of the antique farmhouse tulips, this adorable bunny from Hobby Lobby, and some brown fake eggs, because there's nothing cozier than a little bit of eggs in your spring decor. I recently shared with you this new scale I picked up at the antique store as well, and we're just going to layer on this little candle wreath here and a cute little nest to finish off this area. I love how this turned out. Now let's take a walk through and see how it all came together. And that's going to do it for part 2 of my 2025 spring decorating, my friends. I hope that you enjoyed this video, found a little bit of inspiration for your home this spring, or just enjoyed a relaxing video. Either way, I'm glad you're here. I would love for you to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you aren't already. I post 3 to 4 new videos every single week. I've got tons of spring content coming your way, and I would love to see you again in the very near future. Make sure you check out part 1 of this video if you missed that, and I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you very soon. Take care, my friends. Hello, my my friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany and I'm so glad to have you joining me today. In today's video, we're gonna be doing a little bit of prepping for Easter this weekend. We were not planning on hosting Easter. We actually were planning on heading out for the weekend. However, there has been a change in plans unexpectedly, and that is okay. We learned to pivot. So I'm actually gonna be decorating for Easter, and we're gonna show you a little bit of how you can decorate your table. I will say I kind of did this last minute, so I'm gonna show you what I picked up. I grabbed some new things at Target this week, and I'm excited to show them to you. We're also gonna decorate my entryway and just kind of bring in a little bit more touches of Easter. I've been bringing in a lot of spring, but we're gonna be focusing more on actual Easter. So if you're here for it, let's go ahead and get started. So before we dive into decorating and working on the table, I want to show you a couple of things that I picked up. First things first is this beautiful gingham tablecloth that I picked up at Target. It's by the Hearth and Hand line by Magnolia. It's this beautiful blue color, kind of like a blue denim. I love the stripes, and I just thought that this was perfect for spring. I will say that it is rectangular. My table is not rectangular, so we're gonna have to make this work. We're gonna do our best, but I absolutely loved the color and I thought this was perfect for spring. It'll go ahead and carry right on into summer, and it's gonna look beautiful. Also from the Hearth and Hand line, I picked up this new tray. It is a water hyacinth tray. Let's see if it tells us what the size is. 19 3/4 by 14 1/4 woven tray. I thought this was so pretty. I thought it would look really, really nice in the center of my table, and it would also be great for actually serving food. In the dollar section, I picked up a few decorative items as well. One being these adorable little ducks. These are just so dang cute. When I saw them, I thought, these have to come home with me. I thought they were really, really sweet, and they just looked so different from any other kind of Easter decor that I have, and I loved them. So we're gonna be using these on the table. I also went ahead and snagged a couple more of their little white ceramic bunnies. I thought these were perfect. I actually grabbed one earlier in the season. It's here on my console table behind my sofa, and these are just so classic, and you can kind of use them anywhere throughout your house, and they just bring in a really nice spring cottage feel. Another item I picked up in the dollar section are these adorable gold ducks. I don't know if you can see those very well, but they're like this pretty bronzy gold, and I thought these were really, really sweet. They almost give off like salt and pepper vibes, salt and pepper shaker vibes, but I thought they were really, really cute. And then I also grabbed these tiny little charcuterie boards, and you can't ever go wrong with little tiny charcuterie boards like this. There's two of them here. These are great to help layer things on your table. They're also great to layer things on a buffet. So I thought those were really cute. These would also make really adorable coasters or placemats or nameplates. If you're like putting your table together, you could put this on the center of your plate with a name on it, and that would make a really, really cute nameplate too. The last item I picked up at Target is actually not from the dollar section. It actually is from their threshold section for Easter, and that is this adorable little garland with the bunnies. How cute is this? I loved the colors, and I thought this would look really, really sweet on my sofa table. So I snagged that one. I think this was $10. Really, really cute and very neutral, which I liked. So those are all of the items that I just recently picked up. I do have some other things that I showed in previous hauls from Hobby Lobby as well as Home Goods, so we're gonna use those as well. I also have some things from last year that we're gonna use to decorate my entryway, and I think without any further talking, let's get into it. We're gonna get started today here in my entryway. I've got this great little table that I picked up at Salvation Army and redid it, and I've kept it pretty neutral up here in the front. I've got this beautiful vase here from Target, from the Hearth and Hand line, and the picture is from Michael's, and then just a couple of other decorative items. So we're gonna start off by switching out the picture. I'm gonna bring in this piece here from Hobby Lobby. It's a Carrot Patch sign. I think it's really sweet for Easter. We're gonna start off with that. I'm also gonna take away the black items and the jug, and we're gonna bring in in some other more Eastery items. I'm going to give it a quick little wipe down. Like I said, this table is from Salvation Army. I did redo it just by sanding it down a little bit. And I'm going to bring in a couple of other decorative items just to make it feel nice and springy, perfect for Easter. And here's a look at the space once it's completed. I absolutely love how sweet this looks. Moving into my family room, I'm going to use that adorable garland that I picked up at Target from the Threshold line and put this here on my sofa table. This is one of my favorite places to hang a garland. I just think it brings in a little touch of sweetness and it's perfect for the holiday, and I love the neutral tone of this garland. Next up, we're going to work on my dining room. So this is what my dining room currently looks like. I've got this really old table that I painted. Cannot wait to get a new table, but we're going to work with what we have for now. And I'm removing my large demijohn there from Home Goods. I love that demijohn. And I'm starting off with the tablecloth. This is such a pretty color. I love the blue. It's like a denim blue and it just screams spring to me with the gingham. I also love the blue with the black. I think the black just makes the blue stand out a little bit more. So this is a very large tablecloth, so it'll work great when it's actually Easter and I add an extra table to the end there to fit us all. It will be able to stretch out and come across that table as well, so that's perfect. I didn't have time to steam or iron it, but I normally would do that, and I will do that before we have Easter on Sunday. Now I'm starting off with this eucalyptus garland that I picked up on Amazon. I'll have it linked for you down below. This stuff is amazing. I have 5 of these garlands and I love to use this. It looks great for any season, anywhere you put it. It just adds such a beautiful touch of greenery, and eucalyptus goes with everything. The color is nice and subtle, and I just think it adds like a little touch of elegance. So I'm just going to layer 2 of these garlands here across the center of the table as the base for our centerpiece, and kind of zhuzh it around a little bit and make sure that it's centered down the middle, and that's going to, like I said, act as that anchor piece for our centerpiece. For the actual centerpiece on the table, I'm using this cake riser here from Hobby Lobby. I love the wooden element this brings, plus I think a cake is always a beautiful centerpiece on a table. Now I'm going to bring in different layers of those other pieces of decor that I have. So I'm starting off with the ceramic bunnies. Now I'm bringing in those sweet little ducks, and I'm just trying to have a symmetry on either side of the centerpiece. So just one piece on each side, and that way everybody has something to look at. Make sure you turn your decor front and back so whoever's on the other side of the table has something to see. I also picked up these wooden carrots. These are from Walmart, and I thought they were really, really cute. So I grabbed 3 of those. And then I also have those little vases there with the lace. I picked those up last year from Michael's. Love those, as well as these faux florals. I believe these are also from Michael's last year. They just scream spring. They're like a little daisy. So I'm going to put some of those into the vases, and then we're going to bring these over to the table as well. I also have these amber colored candle holders that I picked up for Thanksgiving, and I love the color that these bring in. They're perfect for tea lights, so I'm just spreading these out across the table, and I think that they, like I said, bring in a nice color. Finally, I'm also going to bring in these sweet little gold ducks that I picked up at the Target dollar spot. And now we're going to work on a place setting. So this all depends on how you like to dress your table. You can start off with a charger or a placemat. I decided not to use a placemat for this setting just because I didn't want it to interfere with our centerpieces with the garland and everything. So I'm starting off with my dishes. Those are Mikasa dishes in the style French countryside, along with a beautiful white bowl that I picked up at Home Goods. This adorable carrot patch napkin that I picked up at TJ Maxx, and then I'm layering in 2 cups, one for water and one for something else. Both are from Walmart. And finally, I'm touching it off here with some gold flatware, and that's going to be our nice, simple place setting for Easter. And here's the look at the table, fully dressed and ready to go. You'll notice there that 2 of my place settings have clear glasses and 2 have the pink glasses, and that's because I needed to order some more. Those are actually being delivered today. I think the pink just brings in a nice extra touch of color for the spring, and I love how this turned out. Nice and simple, and yet so very Easter and very, very bright and colorful for the spring. hope that you enjoyed today's video and found some inspiration for your spring table or Easter table this year. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a big thumbs up. I'd love to have you subscribe and come back for more. I post new videos every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a beautiful day, my friends. Take care. Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany and in today's video we are talking all things Easter. I'm going to be sharing with you my 2024 Easter tablescape. I'm going to show you my idea for what I plan for our Easter brunch, but I'm also going to be showing you a more simple version that you can do to bring in beautiful spring touches to your dining room table. I'm also going to be sharing with you my menu plan for Easter as well as a couple of little recipes. Let's go ahead and get started. I've kind of laid out back here my vision for our Easter table this year, and my vision this year is a spring garden, vegetable garden. Think Peter Rabbit meets English cottage, English countryside. That is the vibe we're going for Easter this year. I love all things green and florally and little bunnies and everything to do with fresh pottings of flowers and vegetables. That just screams spring to me. So that's what we're going to be focusing on for our table this year. I'm going to share with you this picture right here. This was actually the picture that I saw on Pinterest that sparked the entire theme for our Easter this year. I love the pots and how they're laid out and kind of splayed across the table and little pops of florals and greenery, and it just looks so organic and beautiful. And it's nice and low so you can still see each other at the dining room table. So we're going to be trying to recreate this look today. I did pick up some terracotta pots from Walmart and I'm going to show you how to age them and make them look beautiful like they've been sitting outside in the spring rain and make them look really, really beautiful. I also just got back from Michael's. They have a huge sale right now on all of their spring florals. They're 70% off. So now is a great time to go get yourself some greenery, some florals. You can use them for spring as well as summer. I'm going to share with you what I picked up there, as well as a couple of things I picked up from TJ Maxx to just really bring in that Peter Rabbit Easter or European cottage side to our table. I want to start by showing you the florals that I just picked up from Michael's. I feel like if I wrapped all of this in some beautiful brown butcher paper, it would look like a really pretty spring bouquet that I was bringing to someone. But I'm just going to share with you what I got. I did pick up mostly 2 of everything. So I'll share that with you. The first thing that I picked up here is an asparagus fern. I actually had picked up a few of these a couple of weeks ago for my front porch, which you're going to be seeing here in a few videos. There are lots of projects for that, so just stay tuned. But love how this drapes like this. When you're filling some kind of pot, the best rules to follow is to have some kind of spiller, something that comes out of your pot, some kind of thriller that just looks really, really beautiful, like the main focal point of your pot, and then some kind of filler, so smaller florals or plants to put in there. So this is a great filler and spiller because it will fill in the space, add lots of greenery, but spill out of anything that you put this in. Put this in a beautiful basket. I'm going to show you how I plan to use this today. And I did pick up 2 of these. They were $19.99, but 70% off. I tried to stick with some spring colors. So this one here, this is a lavender berry stem that I picked up with these beautiful lavender color stems and berries. So pretty. Again, I love how this one kind of drapes. A little bit of a spiller. And then I also picked up these purple heather right here. These are so pretty. I tried to grow some of these a couple of years ago and they're very finicky. So I'm really excited that I found some faux ones. The heather are $5.99 and the lavender berry were $9.99. Again, both were 70% off, but love those purpley hues. Perfect for a garden tablescape. I also wanted to bring some element of cream or yellow. So I found these beautiful mini rose stems that had the yellow piece in the center. They look really, really sweet and very dainty, which I really loved about these. And I wish that I could turn off my overhead lights so you could see these in natural lighting. I do use daylight bulbs, so it's as close to natural lighting as we're going to get, but it is pouring rain today. We actually have flash flood warnings. Welcome spring. So there's definitely no way we're going to show any of this without some overhead lighting today, but you can see that really pretty creamy yellow color, and I thought these were nice and pretty and dainty. Look like they're just coming in on the stem. These were $9.99, again, before 70% off. This next one I purchased because I wanted to give our florals a look like they were just wild grown flowers, something you'd see on the side of the road. So I picked up some Queen Anne's lace. This is something you can see growing all over New England in the spring and summer. And so pretty with these really little dainty white flowers. Hopefully it's focusing and you can see those. These were $4.99 for this stem, and there's a lot of little pieces. So my plan is to just kind of cut these and put them into the little pots, not just stick this whole stem in one. So I really get like 4 out of this. But again, this was $4.99 before the 70% off. I feel like a broken record. The last one I picked up is another one I had already bought for my front porch, but I loved it so much that when I saw it there again this morning, I was like, gotta have it. And this is a blue seed pod. I am obsessed with these. I just think that they're so cool looking. I think they look like something you'd see in the movie Avatar, but I love the color and the shape and like this little piece at the top that's kind of like fringy. Just love, love, love these. So thought that they would bring in really pretty color to our spring tablescape, but love these. These are $5.99. Say it with me, before 70% off. I did also pick up a few little picks to add in some different colors. So this one here says Pink Seeded Greenery Deluxe Bush. This was $3.99, and it's just this really pretty little baby pink with like all these little, they're like little tiny balls on there, but they're really pretty. And again, this has 5 individual stems on this one little bush. So perfect for me to break apart and spread the love. I picked up these little yellow ones too. This is a pick of yellow greenery right here. So pretty. This was $1, what was this? $1.99? $1.99 before 70% off. So what a steal. And then the last one I found I am obsessed with. These were $3.99. Again, this is another little pick, but it's got some decorative cabbage. I love these. Perfect. This is perfect for, again, that Peter Rabbit, European countryside garden theme. Love, love, love the look of decorative cabbage like that. So pretty. So these, like I said, were $3.99. I got a couple of these, but they were $3.99 before 70% off. So thought those were really, really sweet. Now, as I mentioned, I am going for this look here for my dining room table with these beautiful pots just kind of displayed across the table. So I did pick up quite a few from my local Walmart. I think I picked up, I got 3 different sizes, and I think I have 5 of these like medium pots. This is the size compared to my big old head. Let's see if it tells me what the inches is. This is a 6-inch flower pot, terracotta flower pot, and I think they were like $2. So we're gonna age those. Then I also picked up 4 or 5 of these 4-inch, 4 1/4, I think, 4-inch. And then the last ones I picked up just to bring in just an element of adorableness were these itty bitty tiny ones. They're in this bag, so we'll take them out here in a minute and I'll show you, but we're gonna age all of these to make them look, again, like they've been out in the garden, and those will look really, really pretty. As I mentioned, we're going for that Peter Rabbit feel, as I've said 100 times now, and I picked up these sweet little Peter Rabbit picks at Home Goods the other day. So you've got a couple of different characters. You have 2 rabbits plus a cat and a goose, it looks like, or is it a duck? It's a duck. These were $4.99. There are 24 party picks in here. And what I thought would be great with these is I'm gonna use these in a little dessert that I'm gonna make, but I'm also going to use these on for some charcuterie cups. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about in a minute, but there's 24 of them in here. The great thing about decorative picks like this is that you can use them for 100 different things. You can pop them into one of these little tiny pots. Imagine you put like some greenery in this and you put one of these in there and just kind of put those around like a charcuterie board. You could put the picks in a piece of cheese, put one in a little piece of cheese on your charcuterie board. You could also use these obviously as like cupcake toppers, which is what I think that they're originally made for. You can use them in the little dessert that I'm going to show you later. You could also use them on your tablescape, on your little napkins. There's 100 different things that you can do with picks. Decorative picks are such a great way to bring the theme that you're doing for your party into all different areas of your decor. Along with the cute little picks, I did find these cute little carrot paper plates. There's 12 of them in here. They were $3.99. I thought that these would be great for desserts. So chocolate covered strawberries, for little brownies, cupcakes, little tiny mini pies, whatever. But these will be perfect for dessert, and it's one less plate you have to wash. I did pick up some new textiles for our tablescape. I'm always trying to grow my collection of cloth napkins. We do a ton of hosting, and so I'm always trying to increase the cloth napkins that I have. So I found these Hearth and Hand towels at Target, and they are absolutely beautiful. They're cotton and linen napkins, machine washable. You get a set of 4 of them, and they're this beautiful stripe that looks like it's been embroidered. I actually think it is. Again, you get 4 of them, and they were $11.99 for 4. I think these are gorgeous. They have a very linen feel, but they're also soft like cotton. So I think that these will be beautiful paired with my water hyacinth tablecloths, or table mats placemats that I got from Hobby Lobby last year. I think it was last year, maybe it was the year before. But together, I just thought that those were really pretty, very gardeny. Something about blue and white stripes to me is just so appropriate for spring. Some other items I plan on using for decor for our buffet and for charcuterie boards are berry bowls. You just can't go wrong with berry bowls. This one here is, I believe, from Hobby Lobby. I've had this one for quite some time. It's a cute little berry bowl that you can literally put berries in, but you could also put you know, some of those decorative, like colorful almonds for the spring. You could put crackers in this. You could put some honey roasted peanuts in here, whatever you wanted, and have this on your charcuterie board, and it would look so very beautiful. I wouldn't put a dip in here just because of it is an actual colander, right? So you don't want that. But then I also have these other little decorative berry bowls that I picked up back in January when I took my girls' trip to Rhode Island. We went to the Newport Vineyard, and I found these in their gift shop. And right now they just live up in my hutch here in my kitchen, but because I just think they're so pretty and I love the color. They look super aged, even though they're not at all. But I just think that these would be really pretty. Again, holding something for your charcuterie board, or you know, something like that, or you could just have them stacked like this on your buffet and they would look stunning. Another element that I plan to use for decor for my buffet and my table are liked galvanized items, so I did pick up this sweet little galvanized, what's this called? A watering can. I do believe I have another one downstairs. This is $7.99. I got it at Hobby Lobby. All of their galvanized items were 50% off, so I got it for $3.99. And I picked up two because I plan to use one on my front porch when I'm doing that makeover that I keep talking about. I'm just hyping it up. It better be good, right? But I just think this would be really, really sweet if you put like paper straws in this over by a drink dispenser for Easter, or you could put florals in this. You could line it with some wax paper and put a dip in here. This would look so cute for a charcuterie board, you know, holding a dip or something like that. Just make sure you line it, but you could use this for 100 different things and it would look so pretty. Another galvanized item I picked up was this little bucket that you could hang. This also is from Hobby Lobby. It was $4.99 before 50% off. And again, I purchased this for my porch makeover, but this would also look super cute with some florals, just kind of, you know, displayed on your buffet. Or you could also use this for napkins and forks. That would look really, really pretty. And I just think it's a really sweet piece. Plus you could hang it and it would look adorable. And then the last galvanized item I picked up is this little tray. This was also from Hobby Lobby. I'm sorry. If I say Home Depot when I'm talking about Hobby Lobby, I apologize. I mix up words all of the time, so please forgive me. But this little tray is, does it say, a 12.6 by 9.6. So it's, you know, a decent size. This would be a great little tiny charcuterie board. Again, you could use that berry bowl and you could line this with some wax paper and put a dip in there and use this for vegetables or fruit, and it would look, you know, really, really beautiful. But again, I just wanted all the galvanized items because I think that that is it's something you would find in a garden. The last bit of decor that I just wanted to talk about, I don't think I'm going to be using it for my Easter display this year, but it is something I wanted to mention, and that is baskets. So this is a basket that I recently picked up at Michael's. It was $30, but it was on sale, 60% off. Plus I had a $10 voucher, so I think I paid like $8 for it, but it's got a nice flat back, if you can see that, and the inside is lined, so it is designed for you to put like actual flowers in it. I did pick this up for my front porch. As I just keep saying, again, I feel like I'm just blowing that up, but it would look really pretty with this little asparagus fern, just like such. And it does sit up, so, or stand up on its own, so you could just leave it like this with some florals and have that as a centerpiece, or, you know, over on where your buffet is. I could kind of just prop this over here in the corner as a nice little spring accent. You could hang this on your front door. I think that's what it's designed for, but like I said, my plan is to use this, something like this, out on my porch when I do that makeover. But baskets are very quintessential spring, so definitely an easy way that you could display some decor for spring and for your Easter spread. So now that we've talked about just kind of the general overall decor style that I'm going with, let's talk food. So we are going to be doing a brunch style for our Easter, and that allows us to do both you know, breakfast foods and lunch foods and dinner foods that are kind of made into lunch foods. And so the first thing I want to talk about is some little charcuterie cups that I am going to be making. So I have these little cups that I purchased on Amazon. I'll link these for you down below. The inside is lined with a little bit of wax to help make it, you know, a little bit waterproof, but these are adorable little charcuterie cups, and I used these, when did I use these? Maybe for supper club? No, I used these for my cookie party. If I can find a clip for you, I'll put it in here, but these are adorable to just have a couple of pieces of meat, some cheese, some fruit, some vegetables, a cracker or two, and make them just little tiny individual charcuterie cups that I plan to use on my tablescape. And I will use one of those little picks in the charcuterie cup to just make it look really, really cute. So this will go on the center of every single plate, and everybody will get their own, and this will be like their little appetizer when they go to sit down. So really cute, they look really nice, and it's a great way if you are concerned about sickness, right? So spring transitional seasons can be tough on sickness. So this does prevent everybody from touching the food on a charcuterie board if you're concerned about that. Now, one of the things I make every single Easter are some colorful deviled eggs. I showed these in last year's Easter video, which I'm going to be compiling a little Easter marathon. I said I was going to do that a few weeks back. I just haven't had the time. This is a very busy season for us, but every single year I make really cute pastel Easter deviled eggs. And deviled eggs are, I think, again, something you see at all Easter brunches or dinners, and they're delicious and they look really pretty when you take some time to just color the eggs. This is so simple to do. Just hard boil your eggs. If you have an Instant Pot, that's the easiest way I have found to boil eggs. You do follow the 5-5-5 rule. 5 minutes in the Instant Pot on high pressure, then take them out let them sit for 5 minutes and decompress, and then take them out, put them in an ice bath for 5 minutes, and then the shell just comes right off. And then you're going to cut your egg in half, take out the yolk, and then use just the egg white and soak it in some water with some food coloring for as long as you want until it turns into this really beautiful color. The more time you let it sit, the deeper and richer the color will get. It does not change the texture of your egg white. It doesn't change the flavor of your egg white. It just changes the color, and they look so pretty. And you can do this for any holiday party that you have. I do this every year for the 4th of July. We make them red, white, and blue, and they just look so festive. Make your deviled egg inside the way you normally would. Pipe that in, and they look so cute. A couple of other things that we're going to be making are a ham. We always love to have a ham for Easter. My kids and I love a ham. My mother-in-law is going to be making pierogies, so she'll be bringing those as well. I think she's also going to be making some scalloped potatoes, I believe, and I will be making hash brown casserole, a morning casserole. It's actually a dupe for the Cracker Barrel recipe. It is divine. I actually have a cook with me here on my channel where I show you how to make a delicious brunch spread. I'll put that for you down in the description box. I can't remember if it was in its own video or if it was in an Easter video, but I'll link it for you down below. It is divine. I'll put the recipe down there for you too. So, so good. That's a request from my sister-in-law, so we're gonna make sure we have that as well. Another item we're going to be making are these super cute mini bell pepper carrots. Everything, again, that we're doing is going to be garden themed, so I'm going to try really hard to incorporate that as much as I can. And I thought these were just the cutest. I actually have all the items. I'm going to show you how easy these are to assemble and make, but I'm going to show you that here in just a little bit, but they're so very simple and, again, just look so cute for a garden theme. And I think these would be beautiful on that galvanized tin that I showed you. We can put a couple in a berry dish, so they just look really pretty on a spread. I'll show you how to do that here in just a minute. A couple of other ways to bring in a garden theme to your spread is to use cabbage. So if you're going to be using some kind of vegetable dip or anything like that, get a big head of lettuce. Take out as much as you can in the center and put your dip there. That will look so pretty and like it's fresh out of the garden. You could also make little crudité boards with just, vegetables, and use that big cabbage to display some of your vegetables. That would look really, really pretty. You could also use these little pots, put some wax paper inside, and you can use them for dips as well. That would look really, really pretty. Or, like I said, using the little watering can with some wax paper and putting a dip in there. That would also be really, really sweet. For desserts, I feel like you can't have an Easter brunch or lunch or dinner without a carrot cake. I think carrot cake is so perfect for your Easter dinner for spring, especially if you're doing a garden theme like I am. So my plan is to make a cake or to buy a cake. I'll probably buy one and do a little semi-homemade to it. My inspiration this year is this picture right here. I plan to do adorable little carrots all over the cake and put it on my beautiful cake stand. That will look so stunning. I always set up desserts over in my coffee bar and just kind of create a beautiful little dessert area with a tiered tray with some little, snacks that you can grab. I plan to do some pastel chocolate covered strawberries just like these. They look so pretty, and you can have those displayed again on a tiered tray like I mentioned. And then another recipe I'm going to show you today are these adorable little carrot dirt cups. These are so simple to make, and my kids love these. They're so fun to eat, they're delicious, and they also just look so sweet in your dessert bar. The last thing I want to mention is drinks. So for my kiddos, I plan to make this adorable carrot juice. It won't really be carrot juice, but it will be a orange colored punch of some kind. And I plan to display it just like that in a beautiful drink dispenser. I've got this one here from Walmart. This is the Better Homes and Gardens line. If I can find a link for this, I will put it down below. If it's not out right now, keep your eye out for the spring and summer. That's when I found this, was last summer. It was very popular. I don't for one second think that they won't bring that out. It was just so gorgeous, and it's perfect for any party that you have. I always have some kind of themed punch for the kiddos because I just think it's fun to tie that in. And so we're going to be doing a carrot juice, even though it's just a colored punch of some kind. And for the adults, I will have mimosas on hand, of course. I feel like a brunch is never a brunch without mimosas. And water, of course, juice, iced tea, that kind of thing for the adults, for anybody to drink. Let's go ahead and get into those yummy treats that I was telling you about. Let's start with the cute little carrot peppers. They're so simple.
We're going to go ahead and get started by slicing our small bell peppers here in half long ways. I did decide to leave the stems on just to give them a little bit of extra support for the dill that we're going to add. But go ahead and slice these in half, and then you're going to use a spoon to get out all of the small little stems. I'm just using those little mini bell peppers. They taste so good. They're super sweet. So use a spoon, get out all of the seeds from the inside and any of the inside that you can peel out. This will just make room for the cheese. For today, we're going to be using the Alouette herb cheese. I think it's garlic and herb cheese. This stuff is absolutely delicious inside of peppers. If you've never tried this snack, it's really, really good. But I'm just using a small mini rubber spatula to put about a tablespoon or so of cheese inside each half of our peppers. Once you have all of your peppers full, we're going to finish this off with a little bit of a stem. I'm using dill for today's stem, and I'm just slipping that into the cheese that we already have added. And you guys, that is literally it. I'm going to style mine here on this galvanized tray. When it's actually Easter, I'll make sure to make a lot more because these are a huge hit. Next up, we're going to work on our little carrot patch dirt cups here. I am starting off by making the instant pudding. I'm just using Jell-O chocolate instant pudding, and I'm making it based on the package instructions. So I've added 3 cups of cold milk. I'm just going to whisk this together for about 2 minutes and set that aside to firm up. While that's finishing up, I'm going ahead and crushing some regular Oreo cookies. Make sure you don't get double stuffed. You don't want too much of the cream for these. I used about a half a sleeve and crushed those up with a rolling pin. This is an antique rolling pin that I use for decor, but it did the job. And don't crush them into obliteration, just make them nice and small. And then I moved mine around a little bit in the bag to coat all of the white cream with the chocolate dusting, so there really wasn't a lot of white to be seen. Next up, I'm just putting down a piece of butcher paper here, and I'm grabbing some clean strawberries, and we're going to dip these in candy melts. So these are white candy melts. I couldn't find orange, so I'm just using some gel food coloring to get this to the desired color. I will say, I think next time when I make these, I'll make them a little bit darker in color, but this worked. I also thought that I had a deep enough bowl, but I didn't put enough candy melts to get a good dip. So I'm just kind of having to roll them around in the candy melt until they're covered, and then we're going to let them dry. When I make these for Easter, I think I'll make sure they look a little bit nicer and maybe add some into a Ziploc to drizzle on top like the picture. Candy melt only needs a couple of minutes to dry, so once those have firmed up, we can go ahead and assemble our cups. It doesn't take very long at all. For today's video, I only made a few, but I'll make sure that I have enough for everybody on actual Easter. These are great little make-ahead. Just don't add your cookie crumble until you're about to serve them. Now that my pudding is fully set up, it's time to go ahead and assemble our little pudding cups, and these could not be more simple, I'm telling you. I purchased some small clear cocktail cups, and I'm filling them with about 3 heaping tablespoons of pudding. This is probably about a half a cup of pudding per cup. I'm sure you could measure it if you wanted to, but I just kind of eyeballed it. Then I added a little bit of the Oreo cookies, slid one of our sweet little carrot strawberries in, and topped it off with a sweet little Peter Rabbit for decor. As I mentioned, you could make these ahead, just leave the Oreo cookies to the side, add those right before you serve them, and these are so very simple, but they add such charm to your table. Next up, we're going to work on aging our pots so that these can dry. I'm using garden lime today, and I'm putting about a cup or so here into a Tupperware bowl, and then I added in about the same amount of water. Go ahead and mix that up and your garden lime will start to disintegrate and it'll be a little bit soupy. Grab yourself a paintbrush. Don't worry about ruining it. This will rinse right out. And start painting thin layers onto your pot. Now you're going to be amazed. This will start to dry almost immediately, as you can see there. And you'll see the transformation right before your eyes. And you can add as many layers of this as you want. I painted all of the outsides, let them dry, then flipped them over and painted the inside. And although it took a little while just because I had so many pots, it does dry so very fast and it just adds such a beautiful color to your pots. You could go back and do this repeatedly and make them nice and thick and give them a lot of texture. I would dip my paintbrush down into the bottom and get a little bit more garden lime so that I would have areas that were thicker, others that were thinner, and then I just let them dry. While those are drying, we're going to go ahead and start on our first tablescape here. So I have started off there with a water hyacinth runner. I picked that up at Hobby Lobby for $10.99, you guys. And I've placed a large cutting board that I picked up at Home Goods there in the middle. And I'm using my vintage antique pottery pitcher there, or pottery vase that I showed you in a recent video. And I'm just adding in those beautiful stems that I showed you from Michael's, as well as the seeded eucalyptus and faux sedum I already had from Target. I'm going for a really full flower arrangement, and I think this looks stunning. As I was working on the flowers, I decided I did not like the runner there, so I did take it down. And now we're going to add a little bit more decor here to the cutting board. I grabbed some of those pots and just kind of layered them there. And then I'm also bringing over 2 of those beautiful berry bowls that I showed you before. And we're just going to do a little bit of layering. I love a lot of layering. And if it wasn't for the fact that we were going to be adding some napkins to the table, I would have added a scrunched up towel or something here as well to bring in some softness and some color. We're going to start setting the table now. I'm starting off with my water hyacinth placemats, again from Hobby Lobby. And I'm bringing in my everyday plates. These are the French countryside plates from Mikasa. And we've had these since we got married. I love them. And then we're going to layer on those sweet little napkins. I'm obsessed with these. I think they're so very pretty. I did decide along the way that we did need a runner, so I took some time to add my little blue striped runner back, and then I'm layering in some cups there as well as some gold silverware, and this is done. I love this very simple centerpiece. I think it looks very sweet and perfect for springtime. And I think this is going to have to live here on my table for the rest of the season for sure. The wine glass there is from Pottery Barn. I love that hammered glass look. And my hobnail water glasses are from the Family Dollar. Now we're going to go ahead and start assembling our pots now that they're dry. I did add in a second runner there to give us a little bit more substance to the bottom. And I have my picture there for reference, and I'm just layering the pots on their side, kind of spilling over one inside of the other, and then we're going to bring in the little tiny ones as well. I did put some facing up as well so that we could have an assortment of pots laying down and we can fill them in. And I loved how this was looking. It just looked like things were spilling over and it looked really pretty. I will be honest, these definitely dried a lot more matte than I thought they were going to. I feel like we did get rid of all of the terracotta color, which is beautiful, but I'm wondering if we would have left a little bit, would have given us more of the look that they had in the picture. I went ahead and cut up some of the asparagus fern to fill in the pots here. And now we're just going to bring in little pops of flowers and color to make it come to life. And here's a look at the table, fully finished and beautiful. I love how this turned out. I think it looks so very sweet for spring and just screams garden party. I did bring over 2 of those little berry bowls and added them to the mix, and I think they look so very sweet. This turned out just beautiful.
All right, my friends, that was fun making these fun little treats. I hope that you enjoyed it. My boys are dying to get their hands on one of these little pudding cups. They're so stinking sweet and easy to make. I think when I do it for actual Easter, I'm gonna make the carrots look a little bit fancier, but they're really, really sweet. I also think I might use white chocolate that I tint instead of the candy melt, just because I think that that will taste a little bit better. But that video took me a lot longer than it was supposed to film. I think it was just painting all the pots and everything, but I think both options are really, really beautiful. I might leave that first option on my table just as an everyday table decor, but I hope that you found some fun inspiration for your Easter, no matter what it is that you're doing. And until the next one, my friends, make sure that you are subscribed, and I'll see you next time. Take care.
Thank you.